Resume.
I just resumed it. Okay.
There you go.
Now we back.
All right, now we back, guys. Sorry, we had some audio difficulties on the Chop Shop. You're
Mhm.
tuning in. We was just talking about some of the freshman college report and new faces. On there we mentioned KJ Cunningham, Montavious Murphy is back with Kansas State. Watched them play over the weekend on television a little bit, 25 minutes a game. How about Xavier Wheeler's 26 minutes a game at Georgia?
Mhm.
And he's, we can't say enough about him. Every week we're mentioning Xavier. Other guys is over 20 minutes. Uh, I think that's pretty much it. But there's a lot of players in this class who are playing double-digit minutes. PJ Henry,
Right.
16 minutes over at Hartford.
Jimmy, he all right, Jimmy. I
He, he,
saw him. I saw Hartford play. I like him.
the young man that was at Shadow Creek
Yeah.
last. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like a year ago. Watch at Shadow Creek.
Excuse
I
me.
wasn't totally convinced
Mhm.
that he would go in and generate those type of minutes as a freshman now. But guess what? You're looking back on it, but I didn't say, oh, no way he can't go there. See, sometimes after talking to the coaching staffs, they will give me an idea of how much they really like a player.
Mm.
Of course, the guy, the coach that recruits the player is going to really like the player. But the staff,
Got you.
how much that staff
I got you.
likes him, that's what makes a difference. And that staff is not easy for a parent to find that type of intel out. It's not easy for a kid to find it out until it's too late if it's on to the left end of the spectrum. But I'm just looking at a lot of these young men, Hatter,
Mm-hmm.
averaging single digits a game. And if the coach had told some of these players before they signed, I'm looking at AJ McBride from Manville High School.
Mm-hmm.
AJ McBride is playing 5 minutes a game. He's only touched the court in 7 games, and he's across the country at UNC Asheville. That's not a place where your parents can come see you play every doggone game unless they're economically, uh, 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 you know, affluent. So that on paper,
Mm-hmm.
either two things he's going to happen. He's going to push through, or he's gonna probably come and be at a JUCO next year. You can see. So that's what these lists. What a lot of coaches they look at it and they can tell. I forgot to mention Javon Lowry at Louisiana Lafayette, 19 minutes a game. But
But
then,
but why would these coaches look at this list and say they're not playing for them? How they figure they can play for them?
well, depend on the school. This is how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, uh, we're talking UNC Asheville.
Okay.
I don't know what the record is on that team for that. What their record is this year.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say the team is in last place, for example. Well, there are Southland schools that may feel that they are better than UNC Asheville. So they would say, some of those schools would say, let's say SFA. Why the hell would we, if he can't crack the rotation at UNC Asheville, then he sure won't be able to play for us. So that's where the trick come in with some of this, because a lot of people think that once again, that they can just get up and just go wherever they want, when they want. Remember a couple of years ago, over at Pepperdine, they had a couple of kids from Houston that left Pepperdine. One landed at Division I school, and the other one had to go. He thought he was gonna go to Division I. Nobody bid on him. That was Elijah Lee. He ended up at Texas A&M Kingsville. I'm sorry, was it Midwestern State? And maybe you guys correct me on that. But this stuff is not a joke. If we can find a way to see, I don't think there are a
What you
lot of
mean it's not a joke, Jimmy?
well, the art of just pushing a kid out there to go to get recruited by a school.
Right.
You forcing the coaches to recruit your players.
Mm-hmm.
You basically a lot of players twisting the arms. Then the kid goes to these schools just for the name of the school, for the designer name, and and the kid don't play, then you go and you blame other things when the fact still remains that if we did more time explaining to the kid instead of looking at other people and saying, well, my kid just scored 25 on Lil Johnny, so Lil Johnny going here, then my kid definitely can go to another school. It's not the same. It's not the same. You gotta find ways. Gotta find ways to do better at picking the school, the fits, asking the questions, not allowing the kids and the families to be bamboozled with the recruiting pitches. You get on campus, guess what? You're gonna try a uniform on, you're gonna take some pictures on social media. Don't you know everybody's gonna do that?
Yeah. But Jimmy, but if that's their dream to play and a dream to be, you gotta understand that. You remember that you gotta realize how that social media is a powerful drug. And these kids just want to, these kids want to be important too. These kids want, I mean, see, I don't think we know how sensitive these kids are to what people in power say and what they do. I mean, you can't blame a kid. You couldn't blame Elijah. I couldn't blame Elijah Lee. If I had a chance to play at Pepperdine, have you ever been on Pepperdine's campus? It's in Malibu. Jimmy, I'd have been on the first thing smoking if I was Elijah Lee. The first thing smoking. So, I mean, I can't. It just didn't work out for him. But that don't mean not go to Pepperdine. You know, I'm just singling out him because I know his situation.
It don't mean that. What it means, I guess my angle is I see a lot of kids that go to these schools that were basketball somewhat stars or red ants in their own ant beds. Mm-hmm. When they go to these schools, obviously you're displeased with the minutes because you expected to play more. But then a lot of the white kids that get on these teams in situations, maybe as a walk-on or whatnot, or get a scholarship, a lot of their expectations are a little bit different. Meaning, and I'm just noticing it though from the Houston. Mm-hmm. Sure, most of our Division I signees are African Americans in basketball. Sure, so there's going to be more, but I just don't see.
I like that. I like that. But Herb just said something. The dream is to play, not to wear a uniform and sit on the bench. But Chris Walker, our resident college coach, said, but ain't gonna play anyway.
But they don't know that. If they if they look at the box
said the goal, of course, the dream is to play, not to sit on the bench. So, but Jimmy, that's stuck in my mind. Chris Walker don't know. That's one thing that always stick in my mind. When he said when the guys come in his office, he had a big 8 behind his desk, and a big 8, and the kids come in and keep asking, you know, what that 8 mean, and he said something that I mean, I always think about this, dude. Hey, but 8 of y'all gonna play. You better make sure you one of them 8. What about the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? What about the other 5? It's 5 of them guys ain't gonna play. Jimmy, you mess around and I never forget you sent me a stat sheet one day. You sent me the results of a basketball game one day. And you didn't say nothing up under your caption was, what you notice about this? The first thing I text him was, shoot, didn't nobody but 2 people play off the bench. That's 7. And then the 8 guy played just a little bit. I said, wow. That's why, young people and mamas and daddies. And Jimmy, and you know what else I wanted to see? Mamas and daddies, tell your friends this. You know how you go to a basketball game and watch the game, Jimmy? Mm-hmm. You know I always tell you I videotape, but Jimmy, it's different when you watch a game the second time, Mom. The coach see a lot more than you do, Mom. If Mom and Daddy came to practice, I know they don't have time because they're working, but I saw a game yesterday that a different game that I saw, Jimmy, the game I went and see. You following what I'm saying? You know, and I've been a film watcher for a long time because my son was playing. I used to watch film to tell him what to do. You know, I don't know if other dads did it. I had Synergy. Remember, Jimmy? I used to get everybody Synergy password. You know, so, but it's a going to one of these universities. You got to explain to your son, man, the first day on campus, you got to establish yourself. And you might not. But most time, ain't but 8 of y'all gonna play, Jimmy. And the rest of y'all gonna be in the transfer portal. The transfer portal is becoming it's becoming a household name now. How long this been in effect? I'm talking about, we ain't been talking about 2 years, right?
Three. I think the portal, they just came
the portal,
2 years ago.
Portal.
With the portal.
Yeah, it ain't been that long. I mean, people don't play like my young fella was quitting the team one day from UTEP. He quit the team one day, was in the transfer portal one day, then took his name out the next day. Really? Like somebody you said, really? Now that's you, Jimmy. Really?
Yeah, I mean, they got, understand the portal. They got people that's playing intramural ball putting their names in the portal.
I saw that.
I mean, it's so the number is definitely skewed, just for a small margin because you know anybody can put their name in the portal. But the thing is, picking, and one of the conversations that we have a couple of questions in the booming room, and I get to these questions and at right now. One of them is Michael Jordan asked, "Are coaches partially to blame for ruining the kids' dream to play by selling them an unrealistic dream?" I mean,
what do you mean by unrealistic dream?
Well, sometimes you know you'll let a kid go to a school and not give the disclaimer that let the kid know the reality is that you're probably not going to play that much. And sometimes a kid don't really know that. They don't really know that. There were a couple of years ago, I remember a young man from out of Houston that played at Cinco Ranch, and his dad, they went to SMU, right, as a walk-on. This was crazy. Went there as a walk-on. The coaching staff, I think Larry Brown was there at the time, took him as a walk-on, which was kind of neat. You got a chance to learn from the tutelage of Larry Brown and get him on your resume in some form or fashion. But then eventually, the team, this kid felt he should have been playing. He felt he should have been playing. So that was the beginning of the end. He wasn't even on the team the following year. He really felt he should have been playing.
That's what you mean by realistic expectations.
But yeah, so that means if somebody explained to him, listen, man, you're not going to play over here, but we're going to get this degree. And guess what? If you're doing what you're supposed to do, there are a lot of programs, as Texas A&M did to a young man from out of Houston last week. They rewarded him as a walk-on with the scholarship for the spring semester. Buzz Williams did. The young man didn't even know it. He had been working, busting his butt. That's what happens. That's the reward.
Did he play?
I mean, he's not garbage. At A&M he plays a little bit, you know. So, but he got a scholarship out of the deal, and so that means we have to find a way. What we do is a lot of times, a lot of grown folks you're so entwined in the battle that you're saying, okay, just watch and see my kid going here, or he's going there. And you know the opportunity is not there because some of the grown folk themselves aren't watching those box scores. Them box scores are right there. It only means so much. The box scores don't tell everything. But one thing it does tell, it tells who's playing. It don't tell you why somebody else is not playing, but it tell you who's not playing. That ain't gonna lie. And you can see the rotations. Then you go and look up the players on the roster, print that roster sheet off, print the stats off. That's all you got to do. Print the roster, print the stats. Look at the guys that's playing. What are they classified as? Now, if everybody that's playing is seniors and juniors, then you're in a good shape. Because the worst thing you do is going to sit for 1 year. You're going to play a little bit, maybe, but then those guys will be gone. But if those guys are playing the most of the minutes of freshmen and sophomores, you're in trouble. Unless it's the coach's first year, and he's bringing you in, you part of his, and he gonna clean house. Kind of like what you guys see is going on at A&M. I'm not necessarily saying he's gonna clean house, but Buzz Williams is gonna get some players that's Buzz Williams type of players at Texas A&M. You could best believe that.
You know it.
A guy that ain't used to losing ain't gonna sit there and just take losing like that easy. And he's been winning everywhere he's been. Won at Virginia Tech. He won at Marquette.
Yes, sir.
You know? So that's the thing. I just gave you just one way to help. You print those box scores off. It will tell you how many players off that bench is going to get into game in conference play. See, you can't be skewed by non-conference play because a lot of those games will be money games. It would be, A&M versus, Alabama A&M. And it's a 40-point spread. Yeah, the freshman going to play. Now you're thinking it's going to be an abnormal. When you get to conference, whole different thing. Remember it happened last year at Ohio State with Jayla D? Jayla D was playing early on, played him a few minutes. Then all of a sudden they got close to the conference play. Big star playoff Ohio State gets hurt. He's gone for the year or quit the team or whatever happened. Jayla D, conference time, still not playing. Not playing. And he got the hell up out of there. He's at TCU right now, but he's playing good minutes.
Oh, he playing?
Yeah, he's playing good minutes. He's playing good minutes.
I forgot all about him.
He's playing half the game.
No, I just forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Boy, this
basketball. And so now back to the boom boom room. Of course, Anthony Weston. Well, we got another question that Doug has for you. Okay. He says, so with AJ Terrell's game last night, that's number 8. That's number 8. Mm-hmm. Do you think more kids will start sit-out bowl games as last night has affected his draft stock? I know it's a national championship game, but in general, the kid may have lost thousands and millions of dollars.
We don't know, Doug. That's an evaluation period. The scouts call it. It's a great evaluation period, but they're not going to take his body of work and throw it out the window in that game. Okay? That guy had a second round grade for a reason. So what they will do is his next evaluation period, their pro day. Then he's going to have another evaluation period at but he might not do much stuff at the combine. So his pro day going to be important, and just how is representative posture him. But if he had a second round grade before that game, he'll be all right. It'll be all right. One game, if he didn't get burned in the game before. Now if he had a pattern of it, but it's all wide receivers get beat a lot. Your job is to be able to come back from adversity because you're gonna get beat, and you got to have a short memory and come back. His ability to come back and brush it off, that's what I see, Doug. It's not he don't lose money right now, Doug. A lot of people say that you can make money, but you can't lose as much. I'm gonna put it like this: it's more easier to make. Think about it, Doug. And check this out, Doug. I'm glad you said that, Doug. In September, The guy you talking about probably still had a second round grade or better. Joe Burrow wasn't even on the radar as a prospect. Now he the number one pick, Jimmy. See, that's how it is. If he had a great game, of course it would have helped him. But him having a bad game, it won't hurt him as bad. Okay? I hope that helped.
And also we got another question for you. RJ Chapman says, so is the portal a bad thing or just a thing?
I mean, no, it's not a bad thing. It's just
because we started the show with the praise of Joe Burrows, and it worked for him, and it worked for Kyler, and so on. So that's what we just want to clarify.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, not I have nothing against the portal.
Well, we're talking football and basketball too.
That's either one of them, Jimmy. I'm just Jimmy. Transfers. All I'm saying is transfers. They're gonna happen before they named it the portal. I'm talking about the portal was a unique name that they're using now. We used to say it's just a list of transfers just a couple years ago.
Now this actual portal.
Yeah, now they got their own name. That's really, and guess what? It happens, man. Sometimes you go to places and think that's the it. Just like you're married. The divorce rate is 50% in America. You go and think you're gonna get married to one of these universities, and you get there, and she snored too much. You follow me? You don't like the way she clean up. You don't like certain things. And guess what? The coach might not like the kid might not like the coach. It might happen. And let me tell you something, Jimmy. Now that I understand the stuff that these kids have to, hey, coach, hey, nothing against college coaches out here, but these kids have to endure. All of these college coaches ain't right. I'm gonna just put it like that. All these college coaches ain't. All of these guys don't love the Lord. Every coach. So your son is a young dude that's going out there and he might not conform to what they want him to do immediately. Some guys handle them guys harshly. Some guys, you go to Georgia Tech, you go to a Georgia Tech or somewhere like Josh Pastner or like a Baylor. The head coach ain't gonna allow your kid to be misused and cussed out. But if your kid can't handle cussing, you better ask these people where you go. Jimmy said something a long time ago. Jimmy said, man, no, when you go up there on these trips, Rob, don't talk to the starters. Talk to the 13th man. See how he's been treated. Y'all got to understand, some coaches just ain't. Some coaches, they're different than when they come in there and sit in your house and eat your food. And I'm not talking negative about it. I'm just telling you it's a different experience. They gonna come in there. They ain't told you about the 8 when they come and recruit you, Jimmy. I ain't never heard a coach talking about the 8. In other words, you better be one of these 8s or you ain't gonna play. I've never heard that recruiting pitch.
That ain't gonna come. That ain't gonna happen.
I was blessed enough to be in a couple of home meetings this year. The greatest experience, and I thank the parents, greatest experience that opened my eyes to a whole lot in this recruiting business. And it just opened my eyes to what a coach would say and how the tone changed, because I got there late, how the tone changed when I walked in the room. It's a different. Coach said something different. When I walked in the room, things changed. So it's a unique situation out there, y'all. But guess what? To be able to play in college basketball for your son is one, I promise y'all, it's one of the most gratifying feelings that I've ever experienced. And I've been around the world. And just to see your son, in the right place and happy and having fun. And it could be a nightmare because everybody's things don't turn out like that. But that's the most gratifying thing, just watching these kids. That's what you wanted to do. Go do it. Hey, man, get an education and go and live your life. It's it's a muddy business. And guess what? It's out. Jimmy and I we making a conscious effort. Not trying to scare you here. I'm just trying to let you know certain things. Like if you're in a prize fight and I'm your trainer, I'm gonna teach you how to duck the licks. And then if you get caught slipping, I got to teach you how to brace your chin so they won't knock you out. I got to teach you how to block a punch. I'll teach you how to dodge a punch. And that's all we are trying to do is teach y'all how to dodge certain things. And no, it's all right. And so that's I saw Jimmy. I've never seen this before. I mean, he even tweeted out, if y'all need his help. He said he hadn't did that in 19 years. Y'all need his help with y'all recruiting because this recruiting is hard. He know it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You got to make decisions. And always remember there's consequences with every decision. Jim, ain't that right?
Oh, it's consequence, definitely.
Yeah. So all we trying to do is get you ready for the fight or that you in. That's all. That's all.
And that's all. And so you guys understand, either some people are going to use it. A lot of people may not use it. But the fact of the matter is, we know that people will know it. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Mm-hmm. So you're consciously aware. You're consciously aware of how some of this stuff goes. Most parents are ill-equipped to go into battle alone with these college coaches. However, that don't mean somebody's supposed to go and just speak for you and take care. But all parents, I firmly believe that every parent deserves the right and the respect of any third party to include that parent
in the process
every step of the doggone way. That's the truth. And that's what a disconnect is. Because a lot of the parents, that's their babies. Yeah. If stuff goes wrong, the air goes out of the ball. That third party ain't gonna be around every day. I can guarantee you that. He's gonna be around for a little while, but he's gonna be around every day. We got something else to do.
Yeah.
Amazing how we get something else to do when the air go out the ball.
Jimmy, he working on the next dude. The air out of this ball, the air in this ball, he got to work on the next dude.
That's the bingo.
Bingo.
And so if you're waking up and demand that you are included in the process, and you look the person in the, how do you do so? You have a face-to-face meeting with, guess what? Whoever, if you got a son out there that plays youth sports and you pay a fee or the fees are coming up to be due, tell them you want them to get your fees in person. So you can look them in the eyes. Come meet you and get your fees in person. Don't mail it, don't cash app it, PayPal it, nothing. Now that's the perfect time to have the conversation. You know why? Because a person for to get that bread from you, they're gonna be undivided. That's the best time.
I forgot about them, dude. I forgot about them fees, Jim.
When the fees, you had to talk and explain to them. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. And make them reiterate. Okay, what's the plan for my son now? Well, we're gonna get him this, we're gonna get him that, we're gonna get him. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm hearing this right. Tape him if you want to. Tape him. Then I'm gonna put this phone right here in the middle of the table, and I'm gonna so I just want to have this color so I can go back and take some notes. I'm just gonna tape it so that I can go. I might be able to not be able to consume everything that you about to say. We about to have. I want to make sure I can go back through it. Is that okay with you? Yes, ma'am. So that way you're not taping nobody without their permission. Well, and you ask the person, have any college coaches been in contact with you about my son? Yes, no. Whatever the answer may be. If it's no, then okay, if one does, what is the plan? How are you going to make this? So you're going to talk to you, and then what? Well, we're going to talk to him, and we're going to do this. Okay, well, this is what I'm requesting. This is what I'm demanding. Every coach that texts you, I need you to, I need you to forward them or call me or let me know. We're gonna be on. If you're gonna be in this equation and you want to be in this equation all the way through, then I need to be informed as the parent every doggone day. Then, as a parent, you gotta let that grown person know, or ask that person the question: what's the end game for you? What are you seeking? Because I'm gonna ask you this question before you answer. I don't care if you want a bag of money off my son. I wish you let me know right now, and I'm still gonna be down with you. But if you do, and don't answer me truthfully right now, that means it turns to the lie. And I found you lying to me about my son or my daughter, then I'm done with your ass. Are we clear? See, the tape is rolling right now. See, that way now, okay, Miss So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, this is how this works. Some of those schools, they might do this. Okay, now you will respect that guy. I think you will, as a parent, will respect that guy far greater than the one person who answers you with, oh no, we wouldn't do that. Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it for the kids. Certain things just don't add up. You ever thought about elections? You ever thought about how much money a person has to spend to get to become an elected official?
Millions.
So why did it, think about it? It just don't make, why would you spend millions to get a job that's going to pay you $250,000? It must be a pot at the end of the rainbow. It has to be something else. Why would so many guys invest their time into this basketball or whatever sport
They
it
just
may be
might like it, Jim. I'm gonna ask them guys.
for free? Why would they do it for free?
They just like basketball. Bobby
The,
Benjamin, you
the
on
ones
there?
that,
Why do guys do it? Why do guys do it?
now, the ones that don't have a son that's playing, then those are the ones you want to ask those questions. For the one that has a son, then that explains why he's doing it, because he's trying to present the best opportunities for his
But
son to win. And while he's there,
but
he's
Jimmy,
gonna give up.
Jimmy, me as a parent, if I see a person spending that much time with my son and helping my son, Jimmy, I'm gonna do what I can to help him. I'm gonna ask him. And I know parents, I'm gonna ask him, dude, is anything I can help you with? Cause you spending this time with my baby now. That's a lot of time. Y'all got to realize, Robert had I'm a proponent of time. Time is the most valuable commodity on this earth, ladies and gentlemen. You can't, you, me, and Jeff Bezos have the same 24 hours a day. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. He can't buy no more time. You, Jimmy, you can go in your bank account and tell me how much money you got, but I'll be dang if you can tell me how much time you got left, player. Time is the most valuable thing. If it's somebody take out their time to spend it with you, it is very, 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 very important. The time that you and I take every day to give this information is very, very valuable. Me and you can't get this time back. So I think it's both parties. Parent, if you see somebody helping your son, find out something he like. Find out. Everybody just ain't trying to take nothing. Thank you, Bobby Benjamin. All these guys ain't trying to take nothing from y'all because they ain't gonna get nothing for half. 99% of your kids ain't gonna get nothing from them. So all these guys do. I don't know because I don't know the reasoning. Maybe the guy said, maybe I'm going to find the next De'Aaron Fox. Maybe I'm going to find the next Penny Hardaway. Maybe, I don't know what they do it for, Jimmy. But those guys are taking out a lot of their time. Man, I see these guys at your kids' games. I see, God. it's just unbelievable, Jimmy. I mean, you can finish this subject because Jimmy, we got a special guest gonna come on the show tomorrow for Women Rock Wednesday. And so whenever we finish, remind me. We'll get into it, but it's just it's a unique situation that I remember the time and money. Y'all making me think now, Jimmy. The time and money that I spent on the franchise All Stars, and y'all got to realize I had a son. What you said, Jimmy? your heart get there. Now, all I wanted to do was put him in a position where he playing against with better players, have his name on the roster. Hold on, y'all. You go, Jimmy. I remember we used to go to the live event. You put an 8th grader's name on the roster with John Henson and Ray Turner and all these top guys. Pee Wee. Get what the coach was saying. Who is the 8th grader? Just by you looking at it. So I used that to help Boots because he's a little bitty thing. And I invested in his program because I wanted my son to have. And yes, love having John Henson as a potential client. So, but guess what? I could do. You could do it that way. So I guess I was investing. I guess I was investing because I knew it would benefit my family, and it benefited my family. So, I mean, I don't know what other people do it for, but I just like to tell my story. They said the best story you can tell is your story. I can't tell nobody else's story. So I just shared a little bit of mine. That's all.
And of course, thanks. Bobby Benjamin came on and shared his plight about
What did he say?
I mean, why he did it, because the guys before him had did the same for him, and so he's that was one of the things that inspired him to give back. My thing was, if you just tune into the chop, I was providing intel for the parents.
For the parents, yes. To
be able to help them start off on the right track in the grassroots season with control, in a way to retain control and be included in the mix.
That's all you're trying to do. You ain't trying to get nobody's dirty secrets out.
Yeah.
You're just trying to make sure the parents are informed in the mix.
Because they're not. If I don't tell you this, you're not going to be likely included in the mix in a timely fashion. You see, for example, there's a trip going on. The guy may call. When I say the guy, I say the word third party. I didn't say the summer coach. I didn't say the trainer. The third party could be Big Pookie. So that means if there's a trip to go on and they all of a sudden let the parent know the day before the trip, oh, by the way, we got to go down to Austin. We're going to go to UT and catch the game tomorrow for unofficial. Wait a minute. How you just not knowing that you the parent? If you tell this guy, you demand to know in a timely manner. Son, when did you know about this? I think last week, Mama. Why? What's going on? Ain't no big deal. Oh, yes, it is a big deal. It's a big deal. That's where the influence shifts. Not saying don't include people, because guess what, parents? Third parties, they are an extension of your time. So if you have 1 hour, we all got the same 24 hours. But at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, your 1 hour can be doubled down into 2 hours with the help of a third party. You see? And for some parents, the younger the kids are, we're not really talking about them right now, but the younger they are, that third party turns into a daddy daycare. It is. Actually, it's almost cheaper in some forms of fashion, because the kid get to work out, get some cardio, get some conditioning for $20 an hour. Hell, the daycare or the babysitter is $40 an hour. You really think about it. I mean, so I understand parents, You just make sure you utilize, and guys, make sure you share some of this intel
Yeah.
with other people. That's all. And guess what? If a guy feels uh, intimidated or defensive, that you as a parent is requesting and making demands about the person whom your name is signed on the parent on the birth certificate, then you get what you deserve. If you retain and keep going through the motion with that person, you get what you deserve.
Jimmy, Michael Jordan got a unique question. I'm gonna let you handle that one because I'm interested in hearing it, the answer to it. He said, Jimmy or Robert, how do you both feel about out of town prep schools for elite ball players?
Mhm.
Someone earlier mentioned that if someone else spent more time with your child, that's a problem. So is going to Oak Hill, Mount Verd, IMG a problem?
You know your kids. Every kid is brought up and built and cut from different cloth. Some kids can't handle staying at home by themselves for a weekend. Nevertheless, going off across the country. You know, some parents are ready for their kids to get the hell out of the house. So it's different. And when they get to a point when you're talking about the Oak Hills or the Montverdes, or you're talking about that type of, used to be called boarding schools back in the days. But when it gets there, you've already passed a certain you're part of the top 5% in the country. Top 10. You're the cum laude, so to speak, or the magna cum laude of the country in your sport. So how I feel about it, I mean, I think that person that's the head coach, that's the same as sending your kid off to college. When you go to that boarding school, you're basically exchanging the last 1 to 2 years of his high school career in exchange for basically starting his college process off early. Because that's kind of like how life is at one of those places. It's basketball all day, every day. You get a couple of days, you get a day or two off, but it's basketball. You're doing your work on it, but that coach at those programs has been vetted. They pass background checks. I don't mean they can't do anything wrong, but they are perceived to be the best at what they do in those type of situations. And there's others around the country as well, but those guys have a reputation of doing it. And then you simply ask a parent of a kid that has went through this situation. Michael Jordan, if you ask a parent, and that's what I told you guys, I mentioned earlier, I'm a resource. The Chop Shop is a resource. If you need a situation and you want to ask a candid question, I gave you guys a disclaimer. Your conversation, as many of you guys have been emailing and texting and DMing me questions for the last month. Good Lord, I'm still got about 4 more to answer from this morning. This question about recruiting. And I embraced it because I asked for that. I signed up for it. I really didn't think that many people would be asking me the question.
You sure did.
I didn't think that many. But guess what? I keep it all anonymous. It's your private stuff. So I understand that. Meanwhile, so that's what I'm asking you guys to do. Just send, if you have a question, send it. And you need to contact somebody, I can put you with a phone number of a parent that went through that situation and let y'all connect and share. Because just like in recruiting, you're thinking about summer programs. If you can't decide between one or two, and if you call me and ask me, I'm not going to pick for you. Now, what I could do for you, if you want to know John Doe's daddy phone number and Sally Mae's mama phone number, if I have it in my archives, I can supply that to you. and you can call them on your own, and you can pick their brains about their experience. How many people slept in the room? Did they lie to y'all? Did they change the schedule in the middle of the summer? How did they eat well? Did they eat? How did the kid, ask all them questions. Most people won't. But anyway, guys, it's almost time. We look at the clock. The clock can expired on
That's
us.
all right. And Jimmy, tomorrow is Women Rock Wednesday, right? You got me?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a special guest. You met her. Entertainment manager guru and author Cheryl Cobb. She's going to talk about her groundbreaking book called Dirty Little Secrets. Nobody wanted to tell about the entertainment industry. You're going to learn some stuff about stars. This the young lady who represented R. Kelly. She's not in all of the mess that with R. Kelly, but she Shantae Moore, Will Downing. She's a author of a book. She's gonna be very, very entertaining, and she just know a lot about life. This Women Rock Wednesday. If you think the Kiva Ori interview was good, Cheryl Cobb, you can Google her. Cheryl Cobb. She's been doing some stuff with Will Downing, but she's Shantae's manager, and also she managed R. Kelly, and she gonna tell you all of those stories. So have all your stories about, your answers about it, and she very candid. She just want her book to get out right now. Some of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry and in the sports industry has sought her counsel, and I think it'd be an interesting day for Women Rock Wednesday tomorrow. And fellas, she ain't bad to look at. So, what you say, Jimmy? She ain't easy on the eyes. So, that's what we'll have tomorrow. Might learn a little something tomorrow. So, what else you got?
Oh, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Don't forget, guys. Also, some coaches out there leave you with something. Mm-hmm. Make sure, and I'll hammer this on tomorrow, is on your schedules. I'm asking summer programs. Reserve a date for your team. Just like you can have practice on Saturday, you can go to a tournament on Saturday. Reserve a date for that team, the rising 11th graders and the 12th graders, especially the rising 12th graders, to take the ACT or the SAT test. You can go to collegeboard.org online, collegeboard.org, and you can get the dates for the ACT, SAT. Get a test out the way.
So which grade you recommending this for?
Rising seniors. Guys in 11th grade right now.
So 11th graders shouldn't take it?
No, but the summer season starts, so we call them rising seniors. So they're in 11th grade now. Mm-hmm. They're in 11th grade right now. Mm-hmm. Get them signed up to take an SAT or ACT. Get it out the way. That would be, trust me, kids remember their first and they remember their last. They will never, ever forget you for that if you can provide that opportunity. Otherwise, you have a young man that may perform, was not qualified, and now you're chasing the 8 ball because he's 5'11". And you know the story we give you guys about sub-6 foot guards in Division I. So that's it right there, guys. And so thanks so much for a lot of the.
Get us out of here, Jimmy. I'm getting texts already about our guest tomorrow. Get us out of here. Get us out of here right now.
And of course, on tomorrow we'll give you guys one topic that purposely we left on the table for Women Rock Wednesday, and that's the WNBA with their new collective bargaining agreement deal, which has increased the salaries for a lot of players as much as 300%. So talk about that and a lot more.
30%, man, not 300.
Huh?
30%.
Is it 30%?
30%, yeah.
I thought some players are gonna get a triple A salary. They say some of the top tier players that's getting 150,000.
That's 30%. Not 300. You said 300. I think you just missed it a little bit.
Okay.
You missed a zero. That's all.
Well, they better get back.
300%? Jimmy, that's a lot. No, it's 30%. I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. I done already looked over the whole agreement, so I got it.
Yeah, so that'll be on tomorrow. But anyway, guys, thanks so much. Make sure you share the show
Yes.
to your timelines. Make sure you follow and like our page on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you follow us on social media at Chop Shop HTX. That's the handle on all platforms. Make sure you do that. Also, get on over to rcssports.com and check out the district standings. Check out the top 75 senior rankings has been updated, and shortly I'm about to put the top 10 games to see around Greater Houston. I'm about to put.
Are they up already?
Huh?
They not up already?
They didn't up already.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them up there. They're gonna be up there at by 2:45.
Okay.
So you guys got to go grind right now. Anyway, time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing, guys. See you guys on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chop shop.
All right. Let me hit that button. I'm out of here.